Indians trying to somehow derail Detroit, but it's been tough for the Indians against the Tigers this year. Detroit comes in 11-4 against Cleveland this season. Aaron Laffey on the hill tonight for the Tribe. Here's Jim Leland starting 9. It'll be Ryan Raburn leading it off. He's the left fielder. Then Placido Polanco batting in the 2-hole, who's coming off a red-hot series against the Twins. Ordonez hits third. Miguel Cabrera, their best and most consistent offensive players in the cleanup spot. Marcus Thames, Brandon Inge, Curtis Granderson in center. Gerald Laird will catch, and Adam Everett, the shortstop, batting 9th.
It'll be Aaron Laffey on the mound for the Indians, making his 17th start. And Laffey has been struggling. He's lost his last 3 games. And that first one came September 2nd against these Tigers. It was a 4-2 game, but defensively they didn't play very well behind him. He went 6 1/3 innings, 7 hits. But in his last 2 starts and 9 1/3 innings, 12 earned runs, 24 hits, and that is not Aaron Laffey like. So hopefully he can come back here. He pitches very well in this ballpark. He's 4-1 this year with a 293, and we'll see if he can maybe, do a little damage to the Tigers. Defensively behind Aaron Laffey, brought to you by Honda, it looks like this. Brantley getting the start in left today. It'll be Trevor CROWE in center, and Shin-Soo Choo is in right. Peralta at third, Cabrera at short, Valbuena at second, Laporta is at first, and Marson behind the plate.
Umpiring crew tonight, Paul Schreiber behind the dish, Paul Nart at first, Joe West, the crew chief, at second base, and Ed Rapuano is at third. Ryan Raburn about to step in and get us underway.
Notice Granderson not in that leadoff spot tonight against the left-hander.
Yeah, Granderson batting in that 7th hole. The only left-handed bat in the lineup tonight for Jim Leland's Tigers. Aaron Laffey's first pitch is outside, ball 1.
And like what we talk about, Laffey will have an opportunity now with all the right-handers to get that sinker down and away and get his rhythm going against the right-handers.
Up the middle it goes, and a base hit to start the game for Detroit. Tonight's injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Friedman, Damiano, and Smith. When you're injured, depend on us. Friedman, Damiano, and Smith, online at fdslaw.com. Nothing really new to report for the Tribe with Sizemore and Smith, Westbrook, Reyes. For Detroit, really nothing new there either.
Same names you usually see on that board, isn't it?
There's Placido Polanco. Missed up high, ball 1. Polanco 2 for 4 in his last game with 3 runs batted in, adding .327 over his last 48 games. This one's in the air, center field, coming hard. Trevor CROWE will make the head-high catch, and back to first goes Raburn, 1 down. With Trevor CROWE in center field and Michael Brantley in left, Brantley has been primarily playing center field, and we've seen CROWE more in left field. But I guess if you look to next year, Grady Sizemore is going to be your center fielder.
Right.
And so if Michael Brantley is part of that club, you figure he's going to be in left.
Well, Michael's been out there since he's played. He's been in center field. So now it's time to take a look at CROWE, and I think that's exactly why he's out there.
MAGGLIO Ordonez, swing and a miss.
And just from what I've seen to this point, I don't think Michael Brantley is an everyday center fielder. And it hasn't been a long look because we haven't had an opportunity to watch him cover the gaps and, make a lot of different plays.
Line toward right center. That's in the alley. Raburn on his way to second. CROWE cuts it off. That'll keep him from scoring. And now Ordonez is a dead duck at second, but they missed the tag. Cabrera couldn't get the tag on him. Ordonez, he was a good 10 to 12 feet from the bag when that throw came in.
Well, the ball was offline is what happened, and that's what enabled him to get around the tag and slide in. He didn't really have the base. Cabrera came up and really just tried to move the tag, but the ball was offline. You see, he's going to right field, so to make an accurate throw, it's going to be tough. See, Cabrera, he did miss him. Comes back, and then Ordonez gets on the base. So if that thing is a little bit closer to the bag, they would have had him. Instead, it goes for a double, number 20 for Ordonez, and now the Tigers in business here.
Now they've got their big man at the plate with runners in scoring position, Miguel Cabrera. Batting .346 since the All-Star break with 15 doubles, a dozen homers, and 42 runs batted in. That covers 61 games since the All-Star break.
Well, this is your RBI guy, the guy you want up at the plate in this situation. And this is the guy when you go through your lineups and you talk about don't let this guy beat you. Laffey's going to have to pitch carefully to him. Even though it's the first inning and I know there's first base open, you don't want to just give him something. You got to make him work for it.
2-0 pitch.
I like the idea. There you go, staying inside on him, not giving him any swinging room.
Cabrera likes to take the ball the other way if you give him that opportunity.
I mean, and he can sit and turn on you inside as well, but he does love to hit it to right field. A lot of power there the other way.
Takes it that way, but it's right at Valbuena.
Nice as that.
And a line drive out, 2 down.
Good job. Stayed in there for the first 3 pitches with the fastball. Threw him a little breaking ball away. He lined it right into the tracks of Valbuena. So they get away with one there. It's out number 2 and a chance to get out of it now. You can see that's a little slider. And he's thinking the other way. And there's Valbuena right in the tracks.
So that'll leave it up to Marcus Timms, the Tigers DH. And a ground ball routine for Cabrera at short.
Beautiful.
Laffey gets out of the big jam. Tigers strand a pair in scoring position. Now the Indians coming to bat. Bottom of the first here at Progressive Field. The starting 9 for Eric Wedge, brought to us by Progressive Insurance, proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Michael Brantley is Drupal Cabrera and Shin-Soo Choo at the top. Then it's Peralta, Hafner, and Laporta in the middle. Valbuena, Lou Marson, and Trevor Crowe rounding it out.
Edwin Jackson going to make the start for the Tigers. He is 3-1 this year against the Indians. What a deal this was for the Tigers. Picking him up in the offseason from Tampa Bay for outfielder Matt Joyce.
Pitch up high, 2-0 to Michael Brantley. That's in there for a strike. Jackson has been dynamite against the Indians this year, but that's really nothing new. In 49 1/3 career innings against the Tribe, his earned run average is just .292. The only two teams that he's had a lower ERA against have been Seattle and Arizona. Brantley dumps one into left, and the Indians leadoff man aboard here to start the game.
Well, another nice job of getting on base. Let's check out the Tigers' defense for you behind Jackson tonight. It looks like this. RABURN in left, Granderson in center, Ordonez in right. Inge at third, Everett at short, Polanco at second, Cabrera is at first with Laird behind the plate. You know, you talk about his numbers. They even get better when they get into Progressive Field. He's 12-7 on the year, one complete game and a .337 ERA. Making his fourth start here, he is 1-0 with a .137 ERA. He hasn't had a lot of wins, but I'll tell you, he doesn't give up many runs pitching in this ballpark. He's a guy with a good fastball, a slider that goes straight down, and a solid changeup.
And there's a liner to second, caught by Polanco, and they double up Brantley, 2 down.
Yeah, easy double play. Not much you could do there. When you're Michael Brantley, that ball's hit right on the line, and he's getting his secondary lead. Just an easy play to turn behind him. Look, he sort of freezes to get back, and they still get him. So nothing he could do. That ball hit right on the nose and right at Polanco, so it'll go into a double play.
So 2 quick outs now. And Shin-Soo Choo will be the batter. The 1-0 pitch is a big swing and a miss.
Both these teams had yesterday off, and I was looking. You see Texas stopped Oakland's winning streak yesterday on the day off for us.
Minnesota, meanwhile, keeps on winning.
Yeah, they moved to within 2.5 of Detroit with a win last night. Would they shut somebody out 7-0?
White Sox.
Yeah, Sox are really scuffling
yes,
now,
are.
aren't they? And they will be in to end this homestand next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
1-2 pitch hammered toward left center field. That's in the gap. That'll go to the wall. Choo on his way to second with a stand-up 2-out double.
Love that swing right there. Boy, that's picture perfect when you can see Shin-Soo Choo going the other way. When he is locked in and he is getting his share of hits, and that's double number 36 for Choo. Look at him just stay on the baseball and drive it into left center field. Great swing. So a 2-out base hit, second hit in the inning.
You know, Rick, you were talking about Minnesota and their win over Chicago yesterday. They got another great start. I believe it was Nick Blackburn.
Yes, it was.
7 shutout innings. The only thing for Minnesota, a team that's already been hampered by injuries offensively, Denard Span was hit right in the ear hole by a pitch.
Did you see that?
He went down and said afterwards he felt a little dizzy. He said, I'm going to go home, take a couple Tylenol, and hopefully I'll feel better tomorrow.
They need more than Tylenol. Yeah, he was conked.
They'll be underway in just a little less than an hour on the south side of Chicago.
And they cannot afford to lose him because he's a solid leadoff guy. You know, when you set the table for Mauer, they're already missing Morneau for the rest of the year.
Have both Morneau and Creedy done for the season, so they can't.
Yeah.
They're a little thin already.
Yes, they are. But they've made a nice little charge at the Tigers, beating them 2 out of 3 over the weekend.
2-0 pitch to Johnny Peralta, who he's really looking to snap out of an extended funk. 0 for 21. Just when it looked like Peralta had found a nice level of consistency here in the second half, he's really slid the other way.
Well, and when you have the guys in the middle of the lineup that are not hitting, like a Peralta, not swinging the bat or driving in runs, you are in trouble. That's why they're averaging 2.5 runs a game. They did on the road trip.
Well, remember, there for a while there, he was averaging almost an RBI per game in the second half, but he has 1 ribby in his last 8 games.
Well, yeah, he still has 40 in the second half, which looks good, but consistency's not there, and it's
not going to get it done here either. Pops it up to end the inning. And the Indians strand a runner in scoring position. After one, no score in Cleveland. Continental Airlines, work hard, fly right. By McCafe Coffees at McDonald's, all made to order with fresh ground espresso beans. And by All Care Dental and Dentures, we make seeing the dentist easy. No score, second inning here at Progressive Field. It'll be Brandon Inge, Curtis Granderson, and Gerald Laird for Detroit. Laffey's first pitch outside ball one to Inge. Hitting just .234 on the year, but he's homered 27 times and driven in 76. Bad knee and all, Inge has continued to play well for Detroit.
Well, solid third baseman. But the one thing about Brandon Inge, you make your pitches, you can strike him out. He struck out 152 times this year. That's why that average is down to .234. Got off to a very good start this year, and we noticed the difference in his hands coming down in the hitting zone, down around his shoulder.
Made the All-Star team, but has hit just 184 since the break. 3-1 is popped back towards us.
Short. Almost.
Yep.
That would have been the one to catch, too, because it didn't have a lot of mustard on it.
Can of corn. Now the 3-2. And just missed, ball four. First walk issued by Laffey. Tigers get their leadoff man aboard for the second inning in a row. Well, if you're thinking about popping the big question, here's a game plan. Head on over to Alvin's and check out their Pray for Rain promotion. You buy your engagement ring at Alvin's. If it rains on your wedding day, the engagement ring is free. Log on to alvinsjewelers.com or stop in for all the details. Curtis Granderson, the only left-handed batter in the game, with a little check swing foul. Granderson normally at the top of this Tiger lineup, but he, like Inge, the batting average down, 27 homers, 63 runs batted in.
Yeah, he's usually the guy that really makes this offense tick. Well, I like what I see from Laffey so far early. He's being a little more aggressive than he has been. His last couple of starts, he's been a little tentative. He's been getting hit around a little bit. 24 hits in 9 1/3 innings.
Two balls and a strike. 1 year ago, you see Granderson was hitting 290.
You know what's amazing, though? That who cares? He's got 7 more homers and a couple more RBIs, even though the batting average is down.
And the reason that average is down is he's hit 178 against left-handed pitching. This is in the air to center field. Trevor CROWE will make the grab, and back to first goes Inge. 1 down.
Well, an Indians game always makes a great group outing, and groups of 25 or more receive discounts of up to half off ticket prices. So come on out. There's only 8 home games remaining after tonight. Call 216-420-HITS and organize your group outing today.
Tigers catcher Gerald Laird. Here's another guy since the All-Star break. It's not like he was setting the world on fire before the break, but since the All-Star break, has batted just .204.
Well, offensively has really, I think, been a disappointment for Detroit this year. They're 11th in the American League in batting average, .259, 11th in runs scored, 14th in doubles. They are middle of the pack in home runs. They have hit 169. Offensively, it's just been no consistency. They played very well at home this year. They're 48-26, but on the road, 31-44, and that's not going to cut it.
But, you know, I go back to the winter meetings when we were in Las Vegas, and the Tigers made one of the first moves of the winter meetings by
was Jackson
acquiring Gerald Laird.
Oh, I got you, from Texas.
And I asked Jim Leland after they announced the trade, getting a guy like Laird, if he was looking more for defense and a guy who could handle the staff because of the lineup they already had, and he said absolutely. That's the whole genesis behind that move. And here's a bang ball up the middle. Nice stop by Valbuena to Cabrera on to first. An inning-ending double play. Valbuena with great reactions and a quick flip to Cabrera to execute the twin killing. Each team has hit into a double play already here tonight.
Well, that last one turn was beautiful. Valbuena, Cabrera to Laporta.
Travis Hafner leading off, looks at ball one down and away from Edwin Jackson. In the air, left center field. This will be Ryan RABURN, the left fielder, pulling it down, one away.
Speaking of double plays, let's check out that last double play turn by the Indians. That's going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. And watch Valbuena right out of the glove. Didn't even get off his belly. And he led Cabrera to the bag. They turned it beautifully to get out of that inning. That is a beautiful double play right there. Nicely turned. And that's one of Laffey's specialties. He has induced 24 double plays now.
Valbuena and Cabrera have really worked well together. Matt Laporta looks at ball one down low. I don't know that your shortstop and your second baseman have to be great pals, but I think it definitely helps that the two of them have a relationship in which they talk baseball, they talk about the game.
Well, they played in their countrymen. I mean, they played with each other for a while when they were in Seattle. And it does mean a lot. When you have a great chemistry with that guy, you know what he's going to do, and he knows what you're going to do. It certainly does help when you're out there on the field.
It was no secret during their time here in Cleveland that Omar Vizquel and Robbie Alomar were not pals. But they pushed each other and made each other better.
Because they were so good, both of them. They were both probably Hall of Famers, both of them.
No doubt about it.
And that's what they were driven to succeed.
Base hit in the left field from Matt Laporta, who yanked it past a diving shortstop, Adam Everett.
Well, Matty's been swinging a bat much better.
For Laporta, he's now hit in 4 straight games, and he's hit in 8 of his last 9. 12 hits in his last 32 at-bats, to your point.
Well, and there's a fastball up in the zone, and those are the pitches you have to hit. When you get them off a guy like Edwin Jackson, you don't want to foul that pitch off, put it in play, and he gets a base hit. And so far tonight, out of the first 6 hitters, Edwin Jackson 0 for 6 with first pitch strikes.
Something
that makes it a little tougher. Yeah, it really is. That makes it a little tougher.
Misses again
Make
with
it
that
0 for 7.
Pitch. And Luis Valbuena for his last 5, but more importantly, just 2 hits in his last 21 at-bats. He has been very up and down streaky.
Well, I think the season's starting to get to him a little bit as well when you talk about playing it deep into September, and it's a little bit different. I mean, playing up at this level because it takes a little bit more out of you.
Well, normally you're done by now.
You're done in the minor leagues, even though he was up. It wasn't big league at-bats as much last year. It certainly does wear you down.
Foul tipped. 1 ball, 1 strike. Do you remember that far back to when that first experience of holy mackerel?
When I was 20 years old, I was hitting 300 up until about the first week of September, and I figured, okay, just hang on for about the next 3 weeks. 285 later. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, well, I mean, at 20 years old, you're not used to playing. That's 162 games.
Valbuena with a long drive, but running it down is Granderson on the track. He had him shaded just enough that way that he was able to get over and run it down.
That's all right. I like that swing by Valbuena, staying on the baseball.
Rick, is it more, I know you've been asked this before, and this is probably one of those debatable questions. Is it more mental or is it purely physical? Your body's just beat up by the end of the year.
I think it's more mental. And then there's sometimes where it can be physical, where you're out there and you're really limping into it, but probably more mental than anything. You've got to, set your mind. You got to have your mindset made up that it is through September, and until you do it and you know what you have to do to get through it, it takes a while to understand it. Once you go through it a couple of times, then you have a feeling. Now you know what to work out for in the off season and what you have to set your sights and your goals on for the next year. People can tell you, but you have to go through it and learn it. Just like they can tell you what to look for off this pitcher if you've never faced him. Until you get in that box and face him, you're not going to know what his baseball does and if you pick it up like other people do.
You hear people say about a pitcher, he has late life. In other words, the last 4 or 5 feet, that ball really seems to explode. until I guess you're up there in the box and see it firsthand. You don't know what that
right.
means.
When they say late in life, that maybe that last foot, it either has a little skip to it, and it gets on you a little quicker than you think, or sometimes that slider. And this guy has a good slider where his goes straight down. Most people's sliders have a little tilt to it. This one will go straight down in the zone. But Edwin Jackson now, he has, I said this the last time he pitched against the Indians in his last start, which came September 1st. He didn't have as good control. He only went 5 innings, gave up 9 hits and 4 runs. And he walked a couple of guys, but he was behind a lot of hitters. But he's got some stuff that sometimes he can get around it. But only 5 innings, that's not good for him.
Good at bat for Lou Marson. He draws a 2-out walk. That pushes Laporta in the scoring position. And it'll give Trevor CROWE a chance to bat here. Let's have a look at the All-Tel text poll question of the game. Tonight's question: who has been the Indians' Rookie of the Year this season? 1 for David Huff, 2 for Tony Sipp, 3 for Luis Valbuena, 4 for Matt Laporta. Of course, Huff has 10 wins. Sipp has been dynamite in the bullpen lately. Valbuena up and down, but really has shown flashes of brilliance. And Matt Laporta really seems to have his feet under him now in his latest tour of duty this year with the Tribe.
The thing of it is, we sit here and you look at the players, CROWE, you look at Valbuena, you look at Laporta, and a lot of these guys, and they didn't spend the whole year here, so they don't know. It's not a full year in the big leagues. You go down to the minor leagues, it's different. When you start and you break camp from April to April 1st, and your games start in your April, May, June, July, all the way through, it's a little different.
Edwin Jackson deals. Not that there's a lack or absence of pressure to succeed in the minor leagues, but as you said, Rick, for these guys who break camp, game 1, pressure's on. You got to win every day in the big leagues, or they're looking to make changes.
Well, there's never a break.
No.
You get the best. Down in the minor leagues, you may not feel good one day, and you may be able to skate because you're seeing their 4th or 5th starter down in the minor leagues. Well, the 4th or 5th starter up here at the major league is just as good as their number 1 down there. So you never really do catch a break.
Comes the Tigers pitching coach as Jackson continues to have any ability to throw first pitch strikes. He's been behind everybody.
5 2-0 counts, too. This is the 9th hitter you're facing. So he's pitching in trouble. And sooner or later, it's gonna catch up to you.
Well, your buddy Bo heard us talking about batting averages in the month of September.
Yeah. You're already starting, aren't you? You know what? You weren't even here the last time you took the days off because you were doing football games.
Well, he looked it up, and he's come up with this. He says that your career average in the month of September was 236, lowest of any month.
Long year, isn't it?
2-0 pitch to CROWE and just missed outside. 3 balls, no strikes.
Well, I just looked up Bo's numbers, and his career batting average is 0. How about that? I didn't even need a computer for that.
Jim Leland seems to be upset with home plate umpire Paul Schreiber, maybe feeling like Jackson's getting squeezed a little bit. And now it's 3-1.
Well, when you're not throwing strikes and you're all over the place, it's tough to get it. But he's got to say, let's go. Shake it up back there.
2 on, 2 out. Tribe threatening here in the second. And a liner toward left, sinking in a hurry. It drops a base hit. Coming around third, Laporta. He'll try to score, but the throw to the plate beats him, and the tag is in time.
Good arm.
Laporta gunned down to end the inning. And through 2, no score in Cleveland. Everett, the number 9 hitter for Detroit, leading things off. Outside, ball 1.
Pretty nice throw by Ryan Rayburn. He's got a very good arm out left field.
Popped him up. Shallow right field. Chu is in. 1 away.
Well, Friday, the Indians will open up their series against the Baltimore Orioles. It's going to be Rockin' Reblast. That's always a great time. The Rockin' Blast was such a big hit. They're going to come back with Rockin' Reblast. Great music, great fireworks display. That's all Friday night when the Orioles are in town on the 25th of September.
Ryan Rayburn, a base hit, his first time up. Just sent a ground ball right up the middle in the first inning. Laffey's 0-1 is foul tipped into the glove of Lou Marson, and it's 0-2. Now Laffey's 2-strike pitch, missed inside. While the Indians have lost 8 straight, the Tigers have lost 6 out of 10.
Boy, the story of this division all year long, no matter what team you talk about, from Detroit to Minnesota to Chicago, they've had moments, but no great moments, you know, where they go on and have a month that'll knock your socks off. It's just been
long run for Chu. And that's going to be beyond his grasp and gone. Up onto the seats in right field, and Ryan Rayburn with home run number 14 puts Detroit in front 1-0. It's only the 7th home run allowed by Aaron Laffey this year.
This kid's having a good game already. It's only the 3rd inning. He's 2 for 2. He's throwing somebody out at the plate, and you take Aaron Laffey the other way. That's something else. Stayed on the baseball. Surprising power. He's not a big guy. Home run 14 for Ryan Rayburn. As you said, only the 7th given up by Aaron Laffey. Boy, you save one in the field, you come back and give your team one when you get a chance to hit. And in that at bat, he was down at one time 0-2.
Look at our league leaders, brought to you by the Indians Team Shops. Hardest to strike out in the American League. Placido, Polanco, along with Dustin Pedroia of Boston.
Well, we tell you why this guy's tough to strike out. He's on the plate. He uses the short bat. He chokes up. It's tough to get inside on him, and he finds a way to, get the bat to the baseball.
Now it's 3-2, and once you get to 2 strikes on him, it seems like he shortens up even
always,
more.
Yeah, he always shortens up just to put it in play. He's done that. He's actually a very good clutch hitter when the game's on the line and you've got a runner in scoring position. He's always a tough out.
3-2, punches it toward right field. Chu hauls it in, 2 away. Let's go back to the play at the plate in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Matt Laporta is the runner at second base. You got to look at his jump. Pretty good jump.
Well, 2 outs, you're going to send him. You have to send him. You see, Rayburn had the ball, so Laporta, average speed. But the 1-hop throw right there gets him easily at home plate. Rayburn has a good arm. So he bails him out of that inning.
Ordonez goes the other way. He's got a base hit. His 2nd of the ball game.
Well, it's a Rayburn Ordonez show to this point. They have 4 hits, and those 2 guys have them all. Both of them 2 for 2. That's the stroke we see Ordonez starting to get together now. Right field. the patented inside-out swing. He went for a while there where he wasn't playing against right-handed pitchers. He was only playing against lefties.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to have the pop, but certainly can still stroke for average. And now Cabrera looked a little late on that swing. He lined the ball to second with runners at second and third and only one out in the first inning.
Here's another guy that can shoot you the other way, and I think that swing, he's trying to do the same thing that RABURN did. Because Laffey has that good sinker, and they know because they have faced him a couple of times this year. This is Laffey's third start against the Tigers.
Now the 1-1, missed in off the plate.
Well, and all the Tigers hits, and I'm talking between RABURN and ORDONEZ, the right-handers have, one was up the middle. That was RABURN's leadoff single. Every other one has gone the other way. And that means they're trying to stay on Laffey. So he has going to have to pitch him right in there, some of the right-handers, to keep him from hanging out over the plate and just going that way. Especially this guy, because he has a little bit of power. Actually, a lot of power. 30 home runs.
Fouled out of play. Runner at first, 2 down, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count on Miguel Cabrera. And a one-hopper to third, backhanded off the glove of Peralta. Cabrera goes to second, and they get the inning-ending force. Oh, what presence of mind by Asdrubal Cabrera to take the carom off the glove of Peralta and whip it to second in time to get Ordonez. Time up. So, Rick, this now means the Indians have come to bat for the 43rd straight time without a lead.
Yeah, that's right. It's the second game in Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken.
1 week ago tonight, in the top of the 5th inning, is the last time they held a lead. Two-oh pitch.
You know, and this is not the lineup that, you know, you want to try and play catch-up with. You know, because right now you don't have anybody that's really hot. And what that does, it forces people to get a little aggressive and try and do too much.
Adam Everett throws out Michael Brantley. One away. Here's our Subway Fresh face of the game. Jordan Brown at AAA Columbus won the International League batting title. He tied for 5th in doubles. 15 homers on the year.
And he wants to know why he's not up here. Jordan.
Subway, play hard, eat fresh. Call 420-4200. Cabrera looks at a strike.
I like that, though. You know, you want to get to the big leagues, man. He feels he should be here. There's nothing wrong with that.
Inside corner. Nothing into the count.
That's the first guy that he's thrown strike 1 to all night.
I think it is, isn't it?
11th hitter. Yes, it is. First one. Now we'll see, what happened, because he's really had to work hard through the first 2 innings.
He's still throwing more balls than strikes to this point, 21-20.
But with that slider that he has, you figure if he can get 0-2, 1-2, then you throw that little slider that goes straight down, you get some strikeouts swinging and missing. Look at that 98-mile-an-hour heater. Change the eye level.
Luis Rivera, the hand delivery. Tried the flip, and it bounced all the way back onto the field. First time. The 1-2.
There it is.
First strikeout for Jackson, 2 down here in the third. Well, we've been in a bit of a homer drought here lately.
I know we have, partner.
But we're looking to raise $10,000 this year. We're closing in on that number. Every time the Indians go deep, Great Clips donates $50 to the Gathering Place. Rick and I are each chipping in $5 apiece. You can make a donation. Log on to touchedbycancer.org.
We may have to start counting batting practice too.
13 games to go, including tonight. A little tapper, that's going to go foul. Again, Rivera will flip this one, and he'll fire it up deeper into the crowd. And a nice grab. Jackson's 1-1. Chu shoots it straight back.
The amazing thing about we mentioned earlier, the Tigers have beaten the Indians 11 out of the 15 times. 3 times the Indians won. Carl Pavano has the win.
That's a good point.
And we traded him away. So,
thought about that. That was earlier in the year.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. It sure was. Every time. And then the week after we traded him, not even the week, it was over the weekend. He left Cleveland, went to Minnesota, went to Detroit, and beat him for the 4th time. And then Detroit finally came back and I think beat him once.
The 2-2. Down low, full count. Well, when Minnesota beat him in Detroit, Pavano pitched. He didn't get the win, but they still won the game. And he was matched up, I believe, in that game against Verlander. That was the game Verlander made 128 pitches. Right. And there was a ball lost in the dome, the ceiling dome.
That's right. They scored 5 runs in the 8th.
The 3-2. And again, it's banged foul. And the payoff. And he keeps fighting them off. 99 miles an hour.
Well, it's tough to center on that one, and Chu put a good swing on it. If he had connected, that one would have went a long, long way.
See, those pesky gnats are back. The payoff pitch. Chu with a high, towering drive to right, but Ordonez makes the catch. And the Indians go 1-2-3. Fourth inning here at Progressive Field. The only run, a solo homer by Ryan RABURN in the third. Aaron Laffey so far, 44 pitches, 26 4 strikes. And now 7 first pitch strikes. Marcus Thames grounded out to short his first time up. Weak tapper hit towards third. Peralta, do or die play, flips it on the money. And he takes care of Marcus Thames.
Well, visit the official online shop of the Cleveland Indians at Indians.com. You can browse the largest online selection of authentic merchandise, including caps, T-shirts, jerseys, and more. Get your team gear straight from the source. That's Indians.com.
Brandon Inge drew a walk his first time up. You know, we talked earlier about Aaron Laffey's ability to pitch very well at home this year. And if you go all the way back to May of last year, only Zach Greinke has a better ERA at home.
You're kidding. That's saying something.
His ERA since May 10th of last year is .251 coming into tonight's action. Greinke's was .241. Right behind Laffey, John Lester, CC Sabathia, Cliff Lee.
Wow. How about that? It's impressive. Well, his ERA is twice what it is on the road.
Cabrera throws out Inge 2 down, and that's been a problem for this team up and down. The disparity home and road has been quite startling.
Both hitting and pitching.
Yeah. This scoreboard update, by the way, brought to you by Wendy's. It's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's. For example, if you look at the Indians' home and road earned run average difference, it's over a run lower at home than opposed to on the road. The only teams that have a greater differential.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Padres and Pirates. Valbuena with a nice flip to the bag, and Laporta pockets that for the final out of the fourth. And the Tigers go 1-2-3. Safner and Matt Laporta. Edwin Jackson. This is up high with an off-speed pitch. Earlier in the game, back in the third inning, Peralta had a ball go off his glove hand. It looked like it stung pretty good, but he's stayed in there.
I wasn't sure if it looked like it might have got him on the wrist, but that ball was hit hard. The one that Cabrera ended up getting the force out at second base, but I don't see any tape or anything, so he must have been leather.
Peralta looked like he might have swung at a ball. Jackson's already had 6 2-0 counts tonight.
Well, yeah, you swing at balls and you take strikes. That's what happens when you're in slumps. And, you know, Johnny's struggling. He wants to get out of it.
Bouncing ball to third. Inge throws him out. But don't forget, fans, you can still get your STO gear at stostuff.com. We've got the bobbleheads are still available, but only while supplies last. You can grab a Bruce Drennan I Love You Cleveland bottle opener. STO gear only at stostuff.com. Travis Hafner flied out to left his first time up tonight. Fastball down low. Two balls, no strikes. Hafner just 3 hits in his last 29 at bats.
Yeah, but Travis is one of the few guys that has a better batting average here than compared to the road, hitting .288 in this ballpark and .245 at home, so 40-point difference.
Interesting, though, Rick, in that his homers are almost identical and his RBI totals are almost identical. Looked like ball 4, but it's called a strike. Hafner, 8 homers at home, 7 on the road. And 22 RBIs at home, 21 on the road. And that time he did miss, so it is ball 4, and the Indians have a base runner here in the 4th with 1 out for Matt Laporta.
Well, we would like you to fill the house for the Ronald McDonald House of Cleveland tomorrow night. The Indians will continue their series with the Tigers, and every ticket sold, $1 will be donated to the charity, and it's a season-long community outreach program that has raised over $475,000 for local charities. Visit Indians.com/fill-the-house if you would like more information. Remember, tomorrow night for the Ronald McDonald House of Cleveland.
We got a pinch hitter here. Andy Marte batting for Matt Laporta.
What happened? Maybe when Laporta slid home, something happened? I know he was thrown out at the dish, and he went back out there in the field. I didn't see anything. Did you?
No, I was just thinking defensively. I don't remember anything happening either.
I don't either, so we'll have to wait and see. I'm sure if something happened, we'll get word. Get out of the way, Edwin.
First baseman Miguel Cabrera takes care of it, 2 down.
That's way too high for a pitcher.
Oh, there is Laporta. Let's take one more
He
look.
slides to the inside part of the plate. There you see him running, head down. He's lumbering. It doesn't look like he's running very well at all. Goes inside, never does touch the plate as he's tagged out. But I don't know if that was frustration or something happened.
We will find out when we get word. In the dirt. Valbuena flied to deep left center his first time up. it does appear that Paul Schreiber is more of a hitter's umpire.
Well, we've seen a lot of pretty good hitters' counts.
Yeah. In the air, left field. RABURN, inning over. 4 complete from Progressive Field. It's Detroit 1, Cleveland nothing.
Call for free with My Circle. Any number, any network.
You're rolling some craps
What a
down there.
Yahtzee.
7-Eleven.
That's your game.
Oh, you win a onion doll. Gerald Laird leads off the 5th inning for the Tigers. He bounced into a double play to end the 2nd inning. And Marte stays in the game at first base after a pinch hit for Matt Laporta. Popped in the air. This will find the seats. Let's just say that it would be unusual for a manager to pinch hit for a guy in the 4th inning of a game,
right,
unless it were a medical or something else going on there.
Yeah, or spring training. We don't know, and we tried to find out and didn't hear anything, so we'll let you know when we know.
The 1-2. Smash toward right. Chu racing back. Oh, what a catch he made. He had the afterburners on as he raced into the corner for out number 1.
Got an excellent jump on that baseball, and he just outran it. Beautiful, man. That was just like the quarterback throwing it to a receiver. Look at him on the dead run. Sticks up the hand on the backhand side and got a terrific jump on that baseball to retire Laird. Out number 1.
Like a corner route.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the old flag going
you break toward the post and then go to the corner.
That was it was a nice catch, nice running catch. Those are fun to make when you're an outfielder too, on the dead run, and you catch up to it. There are days when you don't catch up to it, and you got to chase him down for a while, and that's agonizing.
Adam Everett pops it straight up as Drupal Cabrera, the shortstop, is under it. 2 away. Well, I'll say one thing. The Indians defensively have played pretty good tonight. They have made some spectacular plays.
Well, starting right there from Valbuena, Cabrera to Laporta. And then that was a very heads-up play off the glove of Peralta. The flip on the bunt. They have played very good defense tonight. And then that running catch that we just saw to start this inning. That's something that has been missing from this Indians team is defense. Been making a lot of mistakes defensively, but tonight it's been pretty clean. And it also helps with Aaron Laffey, who's really seems like he's much more aggressive. And, you know, when you got a guy that throws strikes, how many times do we say it during the course of the year? Throw strikes, your defense is ready. You fall behind, ball one, ball two, you throw a lot of pitches, and the defense, you know, they get it on their heels. And it's not fun to play behind guys like that, but Laffey's been pretty aggressive tonight, getting after it.
60th, got a little head. 60th pitch of the night for Aaron Laffey. And it's a 2-1 count now on Ryan Raburn. He's allowed just the 1 run on 4 hits, the solo homer by Raburn in the 3rd.
Boy, he earned that home run because he went the other way. You know, you can see not a big guy, and to go opposite field, you got to have pretty good power to do that.
He got a low fastball, 91 miles an hour, and just obviously squared it up on the barrel. Second walk issued by Aaron Laffey tonight, and a 2-out base runner now for Placido Polanco. Check the Alltel text poll question of the game one more time. What do you think? Who's been the Indians' Rookie of the Year this season? Is it David Huff, Tony Sipp, Luis Valbuena, Matt Laporta? Text your answer to 31962, and we'll look at the results in a little while. You know what you said, though, about Laffey pitching well and Indians playing good defense behind him. When you pitch well and you play good defense, you're in every game, regardless of what kind of offense you have.
That's exactly right.
If you go back to 2007, and I had to go back and actually look at this because I wasn't really sure, but the Indians offensively that year weren't anything to jump up and down and get excited about. Statistically, anyway, they were, I think, about middle of the pack.
Right.
But they pitched well, they played good defense, and the bullpen, when they had a lead late, forget about it.
Well, and that's what happens when you have a good bullpen and you minimize or you don't give up many. Your offense knows when they score late, 6th, 7th, or the 8th inning, and they get the lead, it's over with. So they will find a way to score then. When you have to continue to battle back from, you know, margins, you know, early in the game, 3 or 4, yeah, it's tough for any team to do that. And the Indians have had their share of wins doing that this year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where you battled back and you've scored. But on a consistent basis for the course of the year, you're absolutely right. When you do that, Detroit has been that way this year.
That's what I was just going to look it up. Because if you look at Detroit from an offensive standpoint, in runs scored,
they're 11th.
Fouled out of play. Yeah, they're 11th in runs scored.
Yeah, 11th in batting average. I mean, you know, base on balls are 10th. There's nothing glaring about their offense. It's all pitching and defense that keeps them in games. And they play very well at home.
Runner goes on the 2-2 pitch. Outside throw to second, and they got him. Nice throw by Lou Marson to gun down Ryan Raburn. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th here at Progressive Field. It remains 1-0 Detroit. 1-zip, Tigers on top, bottom of the 5th inning.
Is that the main team shop there? Yeah, right off the lobby. Sure is.
You know, Christmas is right around the corner. Might as well stock up now.
Oh, listen to you. Your birthday lasts for a month, and 3 months out, it's already Christmas for you. What do you want?
There's a line shot off the leg of Jackson. He was looking into center field. He thought that was through. He says, I'm fine.
Boy, he catches a break. It did not go far away. That means it got him solidly, and that had to hurt.
Yeah, most of the time you see the ball deflect.
I know. When it doesn't, you know, unless it hit his shoe.
I think it did. I think he hit him right in the bottom of the shoe.
If it hit the heel, then obviously he's going to be fine. But, I mean, you talk about a break. Watch this. Oh, no, that's up on the shin or the leg. That's going to hurt. But it did not roll far away. So, boy, oh, boy, that's a tough break for Marson. That should have been a base hit.
Now Trevor Crowe, who did have a base hit his first time up. In fact, it was Crowe's single in the 2nd inning that led to Matt Laporta being thrown out at home plate that ended that inning number 2.
And I'm surprised the Indians still haven't been able to get on that board. Although that base hit there, because Edwin Jackson 2 for 18, first pitch strikes. There was another 2-0 count. What's that, 7-9? Oh, boy.
Now the 2-1. Up the middle. Polanco flipping it to Everett, but no chance. And Crowe has an infield single. Edwin Jackson turned away immediately and said, you know, I've had enough of this already. 2 balls in the same inning, both coming right back by me.
Well, not a bad approach. If you got to go on back up the middle, he couldn't have done anything with that ball a little too far out of his reach. Polanco gets there, even if he had anything. Not the way Trevor Crowe can run. That's going to be an infield hit. Crowe now 2 for 2.
Michael Brantley 1 for 2 steps in. And among American League rookies, he's had one of the best batting averages here in the month of September. So when you talk about guys who are in the same boat, getting their first taste of Major League action, Cliff Pennington, who we just saw from Oakland.
Right. The shortstop.
354 September average. Matt Wieters, who we saw not too long ago, and we'll see on this homestand from Baltimore, he's hitting 339, and then Brantley came into the night batting 338.
Well, Brantley keeps that same approach, righty or lefty, which you really like, and it's stay on the baseball, very good plate coverage with a very good eye at the plate. Well, they know with something going on, they're going to pay attention to him. Not necessarily throw to first base, but you know the way you're swinging a bat, you got to try something. And figures this is just the 3rd time he's thrown first pitch strike.
Everett had him played perfectly. Steps on the bag, throws to first, inning-ending double play. 5 in the books. It remains 1-0 Detroit.
After 5, it's Detroit 1-0. So far, a well-pitched ball game.
That guy might be pinch hitting for us later.
He's getting loose. We got the right-hander in the wings.
6th inning, it'll be Placido, Polanco, MAGGLIO, Ordonez, and Miguel Cabrera. Aaron Laffey has allowed just 1 run on 4 hits. A solo homer by Ryan Raburn in the 3rd. Polanco leads off inning number 6 with his first hit of the night. Let's send you back to the STO studios for a Ford Sports update with Al Pulaski, who has the latest on the Minnesota Twins against Chicago.
Matt and Rick, boy, it didn't take long for Minnesota to get going. Second batter of the game, Orlando Cabrera, 2-run homer. 2-0 Twins. They had another in the first. 3-0 now. White Sox batting in the bottom half of the 1st inning. Back to you.
Boy, Orlando Cabrera has really been a catalyst suddenly for Minnesota.
Well, you know where he's playing, where he used to play, with the White Sox, so he's got a little.
They said last night he came out and he was chirping and getting everybody fired up in that dugout.
A little extra incentive.
Yeah.
Team he just played with,
Ordonez 2 for 2. He doubled in the 1st. Opposite field single in the 3rd.
Well, every hit from Laffey has gone the other way. The only one that hasn't was Rayburn's leadoff single, went right up the middle. Everything else has been to right field. And it's the first 3 guys in the lineup. He's handled everybody else.
Down and in, 3-0. Laffey has walked 2 tonight.
You know, Tommy did a little homework earlier. He gives me this number. After 6 innings in this series this year, the Indians and the Tigers, Cleveland went ahead after 6, and they're winning 4-0. When behind, 0-8. When tied, 0-3. So, you know, the 6 innings has been the dictator in this series. Hard to believe, but it's that's simple.
So you're saying we can just go home after 6?
Well,
whatever the score is, that's
it. If we come back now, this is the 6th inning now. After we get our chance to hit, if we hit, then we're going to put our headsets down because that's going to be the outcome.
Ground ball. Diving attempt. Cabrera can't get it. And now the Tigers have 2 on with nobody out. Back-to-back singles here to open the 6th.
Well, and the reason why he was able to turn on that ball, he had a nice 3-1 count, so he was able to sit on something and be a little more patient, but gets a pitch to his liking, gets it past Cabrera into left field. Ordonez now 3 for 3, and the Tigers with a very good start to the 6th inning.
And now look out, Miguel Cabrera. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Key spot in the game right here for Aaron Laffey. Up high, ball 1. The Tigers now have 6 hits in the game. And over the last month, going back to August 24th, they've swung the bats very well on the road. That was not the case for most of the year, but since August 24th, they've batted .280. That's 5th best in the American League, trailing the Yankees, Rangers, Red Sox, and A's. One pitch to Cabrera. Up high.
Right now, Aaron Laffey could use one of his patented ground ball double plays. He does have one tonight, which was turned back in the 2nd inning.
It's interesting to see Cabrera's approach here. If he stays on it to go the other way.
He will.
He is.
But there it
now
is.
Bueno on the 1-hopper goes to Cabrera. On to first, another double play.
See, ask and you shall receive.
Cabrera fit to be tied. He's hit the ball hard 3 times tonight. He's got zip to show for it.
Well, he needed that. Aaron Laffey goes ahead, and even when you're behind him, he was going the other way, but right into the tracks of Valbuena again. 4-6-3, beautifully turned. So a big 2 outs.
Marcus Thames 0 for 2. Pops it sky high. Marte gives it a look, but he's out of room. Mark Burley leading the way in the American League. Then Ricky Romero of Toronto, followed by Aaron Laffey.
Well, Laffey, I mean, he missed a month because he was on the DL, and then they put him into the bullpen for a while. So this guy could easily be leading the league if he was in the rotation all year.
Here's the set by Laffey. And the 0-1. Swung on and missed. Well, what you hope for, too, is that next year, if Laffey's in the rotation from day one and you get a healthy Jake Westbrook back, you're going to have some middle of the infielders that are going to be busy.
Guys, yeah, pitchers that, pitch to contact, throw strikes, and let your defense work.
0-2. Spun him out of the way. Ground ball to third. Peralta off to the side with a beautiful pick, and he throws him out. And the Tigers' tough luck continues tonight, but they still maintain a 1-0 lead middle of the 6th. Asdrubal Cabrera 0 for 2 tonight. Takes a first pitch strike. And Asdrubal hit a hard line drive his first time up, but that resulted in a double play. And then struck out in the third.
Well, you can see all the bugs
yes,
because
indeed.
It's so hot and humid here. This time of year, they are out and about, aren't they?
Now the 0-1. Bounced in front of the plate. Not quite as bad, but it's somewhat reminiscent of that Yankees playoff game in 07.
Yeah, not quite as bad. That was unbelievable.
Still early, though.
And today is the first day of fall, isn't it? I believe it is, after 5 o'clock. I'll let you know, pal. Don't worry about it.
Is it September 22nd or 21st?
22nd.
Is it? First day of autumn, huh?
Yes, it is. About a little after 5 o'clock today.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Jackson delivers. And Cabrera with a hard grounder to his counterpart. And Everett takes care of it. Let's look at the All Care Dental and Dentures Smiling Easy Cam tonight here at Progressive Field. Special hello to our All Care friends watching in Toledo, Ohio. All Care Dental and Dentures make seeing the dentist easy. Shin-Soo Choo 1 for 2 tonight. Watched one skip in there. Choo doubled the left center in the first, but that was after 2 men were out. Not a play down the left side. Just foul down the right side. That double for Choo, by the way, Rick, was his 18th this year against an American League Central Division opponent. Asdrubal Cabrera has the most doubles against the division this year. He has 24 of his doubles have come against Central foes. That's the most.
You mean as an Indian?
Of anybody.
Now, that's hard to believe because when you think of Billy Butler, who's got over 50.
Only 23 of his, well, still almost half, but 23 of them have come against Central foes.
My first guess would have been Butler.
And then Alberto Callaspo, then Choo, then Jason Kubel, then Johnny Peralta.
Huh.
Up high. So most of the double damage against Central Division opponents has been done by the Indians and the Royals, with one Minnesota Twin mixed in. And now the payoff pitch. And a hard liner the other way for Choo results in his second hit of the night. And a 1-out base runner for Johnny Peralta.
Choo starting to get that stroke back again. Boy, that's good looking. You can tell he's locked in and he's seeing the ball well. Second straight hit. Or second, base hit tonight the other way.
He has it back. Peralta's still searching for it.
Yes, he is.
Johnny O for his last 23. Close play on the tag applied at first by Cabrera. Indians just 1 for 7 against Jackson when they've had him out of the stretch.
Yeah, that was a Crowe base hit where the runner was thrown out of the dish.
Choo, the tying run at first, draws another throw. He does have 19 steals, but Choo is more of a calculated base stealer. He's not just going to take off on first movement.
Well, normally you're hitting that number 3 hole. You're not going to make an out when you're hitting with your 4, 5, 6 guys behind you. You know, if you run, you better make sure you make it because those are the guys that normally drive in the runs. Where normally one swing of the bat, they could hit it out of the ballpark.
One pitch. Ground ball beat into the ground to third. Inge gets one there. The relay in time. Around the horn for an inning-ending double play. 6 in the books. It's still 1-0 Detroit.
natural gas needs. Visit directenergy.com/GoTribe for details. And by AM/PM. Too much good stuff.
One zip Tigers. It's been a well-pitched affair on both sides to this point. The only difference, a Ryan Raburn homer in the third. Brandon Inge lifts one foul out of play to the right. Inge has walked and grounded out so far here tonight. There you get a look at what Laffey has done tonight, and he's really bounced back after two subpar performances.
Yeah, he's lost his last three, and it started against the Tigers in Detroit on September 1st, that last start, where his defense failed him. Remember in that ball game, and he pitched a good one. He got beat 4-2, but he's pitching a dandy tonight.
And the defense behind him has been sensational as Peralta throws out Inge. Let's go back to the STO studios once again for another Ford Sports update. Here's Al Pawlowski with the latest on Boston and Kansas City.
Yeah, guys, Boston trying to lock down the wild card, but a tough start for our old friend Paul Bird. He gave up 5 runs here in the bottom of the first inning to KC. This is Alex Gordon with the 2 RBI single to left. 5-0 Kansas City, bottom of the second at Kauffman Stadium.
Welcome back,
Al, that's nothing. We saw Paul give up, 10 runs one time in
right there
in a start in Kansas City. So
you know, it's funny. Kansas City came back down 6 against Boston yesterday to win that game in Kansas City. They jump out early today. They've been swinging the bats very well.
The Royals started the night a half game in front of the Indians. Liner towards center field, a base hit for Granderson.
Well, visit any of the Northeast Ohio Indians team shop locations, including the new team shop in the Strip in North Canton. Indians team shop, your source for game tickets and authentic Indians merchandise.
7th hit for the Tigers tonight. And Curtis Granderson, the only left-handed batter in the lineup, is now 1 for 3. Here's Gerald Laird. He's hit into a double play and was robbed of a hit on a fine running catch by Shin-Soo Choo in the 5th. Down low, ball 1. Hey, join the Browns backers worldwide for the pregame Backer Bash at the Blind Pig in downtown Cleveland before every Browns home game. Each bash features special guest appearances by Browns alumni, food and drink specials, raffles, contests, and much more. Visit brownsbackers.org for all the information. 2 balls, no strikes. First time tonight we've had activity in the Indians bullpen. Laffey is at 88 pitches on the night. You see right-hander Chris Perez getting loose for the Tribe. And Laffey's now missed 3 straight.
You know, this is the part of the lineup you certainly do not want to get too fine with.
And he walked him on 4 in a row. So the Tigers 2 on, 1 out. Adam Everett, the number 9 hitter, to the plate. Lou Marson goes out to talk with Laffey. And the way he's throwing the ball tonight, he truly is 1 pitch from getting out of the inning. But Everett has hit the ball in the air both times tonight. He's flied to right, popped up to short. And I think here comes, Carl Willis is going to go out and pay a visit. Because as you said, bottom of the order, you want to be aggressive, you want to go at him.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah. Well, he may have said, I want that double play ball right here, but you can't force it. just to settle him down and make sure. Because now, you know, normally you roll over to the top of the lineup, you've got Granderson up there, but you're going with the right-handers because, you know, Jim Leyland, that's the way he set it up. The only left-hander in the lineup tonight is Granderson, and he's on second base. So he's just trying to settle, you know, Aaron down. Let's go. Go right at him. Use that good sinker.
Granderson, great speed, the runner at second base. Laird, not so much great speed at first base. Everett, just a .238 batting average now on the year, 0 for 2 tonight. Outfield shortens up, infield double play depth. And quickly falls behind Everett. You know, as you pointed out the numbers, you're already getting late into this game. You're already down a run. They're just telling us now that Matt Laporta left tonight's game with left hip inflammation. And he is listed as day-to-day. I'm assuming that may have been aggravated on that play at the plate, but we don't know. 1-1 pitch. Laffey sets, 2-1. In the air, deep to left field. Back is Brantley on the track and makes the catch. And the runners retreat to their bags. Adam Everett almost put it out of reach for Detroit. But Brantley able to get back and pull it down with not much more than a stride to spare. 2 down.
Well, that one was right down the middle. He wasn't going to do anything. I'll tell you what, earlier this year, in a game that Laffey started against the Tigers in Detroit, he gave up a grand slam to Everett in that ball game. And that one right there, he just missed it. So, and Eric Wedge is going to go to the bullpen and get that right-hander and try and keep this a 1-0 game. And I can't blame him because Laffey,
it looks like he's out of gas.
Well, he pitched a good game, man. He gave him opportunities.
Sure
he
did.
could, you know. The bottom part of the lineup got on base, but right now you got to try and win the game, and you got to hold it where it's at, 1-0.
So we've got a timeout here at Progressive Field. Chris Perez coming on when we come back. On top. They're threatening here. 2-on-2 out, 7th inning. Aaron Laffey out after 6 2/3 innings of work. Chris Perez coming on now for Cleveland. Perez for the 51st time this year. 4 wins, 3 losses, excuse me, for the 28th time this year. No wins and a loss, an ERA of 4. 8 walks, 33 strikeouts.
Boy, trying to keep it a 1-0 ball game.
RABURN, big night. Singled in the first, homered in the third, walked in the fifth.
And let's not forget, he's the one who threw out Laporta at home plate. And I'm guessing that's probably where Matt Laporta hurt his hip. Coming in on that slide is my guess.
That's how he inflamed it?
Yeah. He didn't look like he was running around third very well.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's maybe been an issue. Into the seats. There you go, the 1, 2, and 3 hitters. Polanco has 1 knock. MAGGLIO Ordonez 3 for 3. Oh, 2 count on RABURN. Perez sets. And he struck him out, blew it right by him. Perez does his job, and stretch time here in Cleveland with the Indians down 1-0. Stay up to date. Visit them online at paninisgrill.com. Indians need a run. One run to tie. That's where we're at.
We need 2. You know, can't play for ties. Let's go. We need 2.
Indians need 2 runs.
Thank you.
Travis Hafner, Andy Marte, and Luis Valbuena here in the 7th. Hafner flied to left in the 2nd, walked in the 4th. Starts him off with a breaking ball for a strike. A little high heat, and it's 0-2. Right back over the screen.
You know, normally last time we were in Detroit, you notice when Ordonez started games and they had a lead, they would take him out by this time of the ball game. But he is hitting next inning, so he's pushing him for 1 more inning, you know, instead of the defense to try and get some more runs.
Usually he'll bring Cleat Thomas in
right
late. Doesn't feel comfortable with a 1-run lead. Who could blame him? One hopper to third. Inge. Low throw. Nice backhander by Cabrera. One away. Time now for our Northern Ohio Toyota Dealers game recap. This will take all of 10 seconds. Ryan Raburn solo homer in the third. 1-0 Detroit. And that is where we stand. For a dealer near you, visit buyatoyota.com.
That was all of 10 seconds. Way to go.
I think our folks at Toyota got shortchanged tonight. Here's Andy Marte. He came on in the fourth as a pinch hitter for Matt Laporta. Laporta singled his first time up in the second inning and then tried to score from second on a base hit to left field by Trevor CROWE with 2 outs. He was thrown out at the plate. Maybe if we get a chance, we can show that again. Laporta left the game with inflammation in his hip and is listed now as at day-to-day. The shortstop, Everett, grabs it 2 down. Going to bring up Luis Valbuena, who is 0 for 2 here this evening. Edwin Jackson, 92 pitches on the night. Indians had 2 hits in the first and those 2 hits in the second. And they've had 2 hits since. They've turned 3 double plays behind Jackson. And, of course, the spectacular throw by Raburn at the plate to nail what was potentially the only run of the night for Cleveland.
Well, and Jackson continues his fine ERA in this ballpark. And, you know, he was control-wise all over the place in the first 4 or 5 innings of this game.
Valbuena with a bullet to right field. Ordonez is able to cut it off. And so Luis, a 2-out single. Let's have one more look at this, Rick, just because this was in the second inning. Chance for the Indians to get on board, but he doesn't look like he's running well there.
He's not running well at all right there. And he slides to the inside part of the plate, never really does touch the plate. You know, you always see some guys sliding away, but that catcher getting the ball on that side went to the inside part of the plate. But coming around third, he didn't look very good.
I thought maybe there was something that happened on the slide, but I don't think that was it. You're right. It looked like he was laboring before he even got to home plate. So, but that's been it for the Indians. That was their best chance at scoring tonight. Lou Marson walked in the second, and then he hit a hard ball in the fifth right back up the middle, and it hit Edwin Jackson. Looked like maybe in the shin or on the leg, and it stopped right there in front of him, and he was able to throw him out. Two-0 pitch. Down and in. 3 balls, no strikes. Just now starting to get some activity in the Detroit bullpen. And Jackson is 2 pitches away from the 100 mark on the night. Ball 4. So 2 on, 2 out. And the number 9 hitter, Trevor CROWE, due up next. And we're going to get another visit from the Tigers pitching coach. As you see, left-hander Bobby C. warming up now for the Tigers. Jackson has pitched to Dandy. But against the Indians, that's nothing new. Came into this game with a career ERA of 2.92 against the Indians. And he's blanked them for 6 2/3 so far. Let's have a look at our great clip of the game. And we could certainly use one of these right here.
Oh, boy, on Sunday, yeah. Watch this ground ball. Shortstop dives for, gets all the way to the wall. That looked like one of John Krepop's drives. Goes for a triple. Trevor CROWE ends up.
Relax. You're at Great Clips. And he's 2 for 2 tonight. Tying run, Luis Valbuena at second base. Go ahead run, Lou Marson down at first.
What's he saying? He's out of the batter's box.
Not sure exactly.
He had to be. He walked in and showed him where his foot was.
You almost never see that.
Never. Rarely.
Addressed.
No.
Guys are routinely out of the box, at least toward the back of it. One of the first things hitters do when we start the game is they erase the back line of the batter's box and then stand behind it.
Yeah.
You see CROWE, he is right on the back of it. But
Right,
most guys are.
Yeah, that's true.
They want a long as look as possible at that pitch coming in. We have seen guys like Coco Crisp comes to mind that like to hit toward the front of the box.
Yeah, a few guys do, not many.
Lou Marson, go ahead run at first base. 1-1 our score. Or excuse me, 1-0 our score. Bottom of the seventh inning. 1-1 was the count. Now throw down a ball and 2 strikes. Hits are even at 7 apiece. If CROWE dumps one into left field this time, much better chance to score with Valbuena at second base. He's got pretty good speed and runs very hard. Swung on and missed. Jackson, with perhaps the final pitch of the night, strikes out CROWE, and the Indians strand a pair. Well, we go to the 8th inning. 1-0. Tigers lead it. Placido, Polanco, MAGGLIO, ORDONEZ, and Miguel Cabrera to face Chris Perez. Left-hander Tony Sipp now getting loose in the Tribe bullpen. Missed outside 2-0. He's missed on the first three. Polanco is lined out to center, flied out to right, and singled his last time up. This time he walks on 4 straight. Leadoff man aboard for Detroit. Browns Trips packs are still available. Build your own 3-game ticket plan, including the interstate battle against the Bengals, for under $100. Get your Browns Trips pack online at clevelandbrowns.com. MAGGLIO ORDONEZ, a perfect 3 for 3 tonight with 2 singles and a double. And he's missed on the first 5.
As we witnessed tonight, and both pitchers have, you got to get on the plate to get strikes called. You can't be close. Be interesting to see after this inning if Ordonez continues to go out there in right field.
Now the 2-0. And that is ball 3. Unbelievable. Chris Perez came on with 2 on and 2 out in the 7th inning. And he made quick work of Ryan Raburn. But he walked Polanco on 4 straight. And now he's 3-0 to Ordonez. And gets a strike called. (3-1) is outside, and he's walked the first 2. And here is Miguel Cabrera batting again tonight with runners on base. And you talk about playing with fire.
Yeah.
Going to get a pinch runner now for Ordonez. This will be Clete Thomas.
So that answers the question. He's out defensively. That's the 5th walk today by Indians pitching. And they haven't been able to take advantage of anything. So out goes Carl Willis. They do have Tony Sipp up in the bullpen getting loose, but you got a couple of right-handers. As we mentioned, the only left-hander in this lineup tonight has been Curtis Granderson.
Let's take a look at our direct energy bringing the gas sequence. And we'll go back to last inning. This, as I mentioned, Perez came on with 2 men on base, 2 out, facing Ryan Raburn.
Eric was feeling he had to keep the game right where it was at, and he certainly did. He came right in, and he's going to get the strikeout. Fastball, breaking ball, and another fastball. Kept it there, but comes back this inning, walks the first 2 hitters he's faced.
Direct Energy offers simple solutions for your natural gas supply needs. No simple solution for getting Miguel Cabrera out. He lined out to the second baseman in the first with 2 men aboard. With a runner on in the 3rd inning, he grounded into an inning-ending fielder's choice on a hard-hit smash. And then in the 6th inning with 2 men on base, he hit into a double play. So they've contained him so far. The 0-1.
Yep.
Line to left. And it's over the head of Brantley. That's going to bring home Polanco. Into 3rd and holding is Thomas. And Cabrera delivers with an RBI double.
He can only contain him for so long because he had left force out there already, but not this time. Perez comes back with another slider, and Cabrera, such a good hitter. He's waiting for it. He makes it a 2-0 ball game, 33rd double of the season, and he started them off with a slider, comes back to it, and left that one middle of the plate. Gets it over the head of Brantley in left field. So Polanco comes around to score, and the walks definitely did hurt this inning. With nobody out, the infield coming in.
Marcus Thames goes after it up high, but he swings and misses. M's 0 for 3 tonight. Blew it by him, 0-2. Again, the infield in with runners at second and third. And the 0-2 pitch is outside. He didn't chase after that. Popped him up. Chew.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Near the line. Makes the catch in foul ground. Here comes Cleet Thomas. The throw to the plate, and he is safe at the plate.
Yeah, he got underneath the tag. He got underneath the tag. It was an excellent throw. And I think by the time Arson can apply the tag, that foot hit home plate.
Eric Wedge out to argue, but to no avail.
Check
Another
it out.
look.
Watch the tag. He's got to come up. He's trying to block it. Yeah, he's safe. He wasn't able to tag him before that foot reaches home plate. See, he's trying to block it. He turns. There's the foot on the plate, and then comes the tag. They're going to appeal the throw to third base now, and he's going to end up being safe. They say he did not leave early. And that's been the MO this year. With the Indians, they have given up 94 runs in the 8th inning. And now Detroit has scored 17 of those 98. They've been outscored 17-6 in the 8th inning this year. So it's now a 3-0 ball game. Have to play the infield in again now with one out and try and cut off another run.
Inge looks at a strike. Here comes the squeeze, and it's fouled back by Inge.
Boy, not a situation you would expect from Inge, Brandon Inge. Cabrera the runner at third, but it's a great idea. You've got a 3-run lead. He's just trying to add one more. Really nothing to lose in this situation. He doesn't give it away. And all you have to do is just put it on the ground. Inge couldn't do it. He's upset with himself. But no harm because he goes back to third base and he has another shot. That's a pretty good call there, trying to get one extra run.
Spun him out of the way. The scoreboard update brought to you by Coors Light. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. That one hung on the slider. And now the count goes to 3-2. Looked like he was trying to make that one maybe really nasty and got under it. Payoff pitch. And he fouls it back to the screen. Probably be last batter for Perez with the left-handed hitting Granderson on deck. .24 pitches for Chris Perez. 12 for balls, 12 for strikes. Swung on and missed. Gets the strikeout, 2 down. And we'll have a timeout for a pitching change. Eric Wedge will go get the left-hander. Tigers have a runner at third and 2 down, but they now lead it 3-0. Three 0 Tigers lead it. They've got a runner at third base, 2 down. Curtis Granderson will be the hitter, and we'll see Tony Sipp, left-hander, coming on for the Tribe. Sipp, his 43rd appearance, 2 wins, no losses, an ERA of 3.25. In 36 innings, he's walked 19, struck out 45. Opposition hitting just 198 against him. Infield will go back to normal depth now here with 2 down.
Yeah, it was the 2 walks that started this inning off that have come around to score. Of course, the big hit was the Cabrera double. And he had opportunities almost every time tonight with runners on base. And in the 8th inning, he comes through.
Granderson pops the first pitch up on the infield. Valbuena, the second baseman, has it. And we'll go to the bottom of the 8th here in Cleveland, but the Tigers now lead it 3-0. In front, bottom of the 8th inning, top of the order for the Tribe. Cleet Thomas takes over in right, and the new pitcher is left-hander Bobby C.
The left-hander for the 65th time this year has done a nice job. 6-3 record. He's one of those guys that comes in and sets up the closer.
And for the moment, Rick, he equals Fernando Rodney for the most appearances for the Tigers this year.
Well, yeah, he's the setup guy, or one of, and Rodney's the closer. So the holds is the big thing here for Bobby C.
Meanwhile, Edwin Jackson this year now in 5 starts against the Indians has an ERA of 2.10 after 7 shutout innings of work tonight.
This is the 10th time this year that Bobby C has pitched against the Indians, and it doesn't surprise you, does it? He is 1-0. He has pitched 8 innings, given up 8 hits and 3 earned runs. They were able to get him the first time back in May, but he's done a pretty solid job overall. You know, and that's what we talk about time in and time in the division. When you're a specialist and coming out of that bullpen, a lot of times you match up with those same hitters night after night, series after series, and, you know, the adjustments are made. So when you got to go out there and get some of the toughest outs against that lineup every game, or most every game, that's a tough thing to do.
You would think somewhere along the line the hitters would gain the upper hand just because they've seen you a number of times and now they've figured you out. But
well, they have an idea what you're going to pitch, but it comes down to execution, and the pitchers, I think, always have the upper hand. Although the hitters may have a book on you and a pretty good idea if you can locate it.
Brantley goes the other way, slaps it, just foul. Well, it's almost like in football. Offenses always say we have the advantage because we know where the play is going.
Right.
Defensive guys, linebackers in particular, will say, yeah, that's all well and good, but when you get lined up and you get ready to snap the ball, we're going to be looking right at you. And you got to come through us. You know? So it all depends on your perspective, I suppose. The hitters all say, well, you've got to throw it over that white dish first.
Well, the funny thing about baseball, though, it's the only game when you have the object to it. You're on defense. You're not on offense. So, I mean, that's 9 against 1 is what it comes down to. So the odds are against you as a hitter, no matter how you look at it.
The 2-2. Again, it's fouled away. Two pitch. Inside out swing. Third baseman Inge fires it over. 1 down. Let's go back to the STO studios once again for a Ford Sports update. Here's Al Pulaski with the latest on the National League wild card chase.
Matt and Rick, the Rockies were down 2-0 heading into the first inning. They made it 2-1, and then with a couple aboard, Brad Hopp goes yard off Edward Mujica. Rockies score 4 in the bottom half. 4-2 now. They lead the Pods in the second inning. Back to you.
There's Dribble Cabrera, 0 for 3 tonight. The 0-1. Line back up the middle, and as Dribble Cabrera has his first hit of the night. Let's get a look at the results in tonight's All-Tel text poll question of the game. And 44% of our viewers like Luis Valbuena as their choice for Indians Rookie of the Year. Shin-Soo Choo, 2 hits on the night. He doubled in the first, singled in the 6th. And he rolls it foul. Low and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. You know, you were talking about the hitter when he steps into the box. It's like a game of 9-on-1. And when you're down there in the box at ground level, it probably doesn't look like there's a lot of holes out there.
No, it doesn't. Because you're targeted on one thing. I mean, you step out, you'll take your peek around and see where players are playing you to have an idea, and that'll give you an idea how they're going to pitch you. But once you get in that batter's box, your eyes are focused right on that guy on the bump.
And then your career's over, and you get up here in the booth, and you look out there and you think,
there's a lot of
look at all that green out there.
Yeah. Sometimes when you're not swinging the bat well, it looks like there's about 15 of those guys out there. And there's other times when you're swinging the bat good, it seems like there's nobody out there. Not too often, though.
As Herb Score once said, the farther away you get from the game, the easier it looks.
That's true. The farther away from between the lines. So this game looks easy because the players playing the game make it look easy. I mean, you know, when you see a hot smash and these guys just field the ball, it's a difficult game to play.
I remember talking to Buddy Bell one time about, you know, you talk about like the game of hockey, for example, on ice. It may be the fastest game in pro sports on ice, the way they're flying up and down. Basketball, football. But he said there's something about baseball, when the ball is put in play, the game speeds up maybe like no other. Liner over the head of Polanco into right field, and Cabrera will stop at second. And the Indians have back-to-back hits. And I believe, yeah, that's the first time tonight they've had back-to-back hits in the ballgame.
Yeah, and that was a good at-bat from Choo. He got a high fastball. He tried to drop down on the side and throw one past him just over the outstretched glove of Polanco. So Choo has 3 hits tonight, and that's going to do it for Bobby C. He's going to go to the bullpen for Brandon Lyon.
So a timeout here at Progressive Field. Indians will bring the tying run to the plate when we come back. Detroit. Indians threatening here in their half of the 8th inning. They've got 2 on with back-to-back singles by Cabrera and Choo. And now Peralta coming to the plate to face right-hander Brandon Lyon on for the 59th time this year.
Yeah, this is their right-handed setup guy. With Joel Zumaya out, injuries, as he has had so often. Sixth time that Lyon has appeared against the Indians this year, covering 5 1/3 innings. He's given up 4 hits, has not allowed an earned run. But with one out, first and second, the Indians with a chance to get on the board.
Lyon delivers a first pitch strike to Johnny Peralta, who is 0 for 3 tonight. And 0 for his last 24 overall. So that slider didn't miss by much.
Well, he said, "Oh, you know what? He was sitting off the plate. That was on the plate. That was a good pitch." Johnny caught a break right there. They wanted that ball away, and he threw it right in the zone.
Here's the 1-1. In the air, right center field. Cleet Thomas coming in. He'll make the catch. Runners have to hold 2 down. And that'll bring up Travis Hafner, who's 0 for 2 tonight. Big spot right here for the Tribe. They're down 3. A chance to at least get on the board, maybe cut into this deficit. Pretty good chance they'll be seeing Fernando Rodney in the 9th. Swung at a high fastball and fisted it off the other way.
That was an odd looking swing, wasn't it? Or maybe the way the ball came off the bat.
Yeah, well, he ran it up high and it was also in. He just wasn't. He had no room to get the barrel to it. Missed inside, 1-1. Cabrera, the runner at second. Chu at first with 2 down on the 1-1 pitch to Hafner. Two balls and a strike. And the one thing about Hafner that, you know, historically he's had a pretty good eye and pretty good discipline at the plate. One thing we've seen a lot this year is that, and maybe this is just an overall confidence thing, is he's expanded that zone. He's chased pitches that aren't pitches that he can, you know, hammer. Balls that he used to zero in on.
Yeah, he'll be the first to tell you that at times he's gone after pitches he's never used to swing at. Like that.
2-2.
Now you have the count in your favor right there. 2-1 pitch, and that was an excellent pitch. It had good movement going down and away. Really tough one to handle. You know, he fell behind, but look at that pitch. That's a pitcher's pitch off the plate. That's one as a hitter you don't want to swing at. Unless you have to. Now with 2 strikes, yes, but not with the count in your favor. That's exactly what you're talking about right there. That's a case in point.
Now he goes into protect mode with 2 on and 2 out. Did he hold up? No appeal, and the count goes full. And he did definitely keep the bat in check. So the runners will be off on this 3-2 pitch. Lyon the set, and the payoff pitch to Hafner. Lined out of play. No runs on 9 hits for the Indians. 3 runs, 8 hits for Detroit. And with 2 on and 2 out here in the last half of the 8th. Runners take off on the payoff pitch, and it's ball 4. They're loaded. So that time, good discipline by Hafner to not offer it the 3-2 pitch that was off the plate. And let's see, we will get a pinch hitter here, and it's going to be Jamie Carroll, who will hit for Andy Marte.
Well, there you see it definitely is off the plate. That's that 2-seamer going away. He takes it. Bases are loaded now with 2 outs, and Jamie Carroll going to come up and hit for Marte.
Well, you know, and some people might say, boy, Jamie Carroll, that's the best guy you got to pinch hit here? Well, remember, he's hitting .343 this year with runners in scoring position.
He's got a good eye. He's got a chance to put the ball in play, and you know, you want to keep this thing going. You want to get on the board. That's not a bad. I can understand that. He makes a pitcher work.
24 hits and 70 at bats with the runner in scoring position on the year. The pitch. And it's low, ball 1. And you're right, Rick. The one thing you know you'll get from Carroll is a tough at bat.
That's exactly right. He's going to eyeball you. He normally takes a strike. You know, if you fall behind, he's going to make you throw it in there. He's not going to give you an easy out. And if you make a mistake, he's going to get a base hit. That's what they need. They need to get something going here. They have not scored. They have 9 base hits.
1-0 delivery. Fouled back. Now, perhaps because the Tigers have a 3-run lead, you don't see Clete Thomas in right field shorten up. A lot of times we'll see the right fielder with Carroll at the plate. We'll see him really shorten up in right field, but he's playing pretty much normal depth.
You have to. You got a 3-run lead. You're going to give anything in front of you. You know, your main concern is that man on first base and that guy at home plate, because that's the go-ahead run. So, you know, you're going to force it. Nothing over your head. Everything in front.
The 1-1. Almost hit him.
Ooh.
2 balls and a strike.
This was awfully close. He's going to turn right at the last second. I mean, you're talking about a matter of inches.
And it wasn't that far off the plate either.
Nope.
Cabrera at third, Chu at second, tying run Hafner at first. And the 2-1 to Carroll. High,
there
3 balls and a strike.
He's going to take one here. He's going to make him throw 2. That's exactly what we're talking about when you put him up there in this situation. He's going to keep the pressure on the pitcher. He's a veteran hitter. I mean, he knows. You know what I mean? You got one of the few veterans on this ball club up in this situation.
Brandon Lyons, 3-1 pitch. Low, ball 4. Indians are on the board for the first time tonight.
How about that?
Carroll, in a pinch hit situation, gets the RBI. Tying run moves into scoring position. And the go-ahead run is now at first base. And the batter will be Luis Valbuena. We'll get a pinch runner now for Travis Hafner. Who is that, Newman Romero?
I believe so. So the walks are benefiting the Indians now. It was the 2 walks to start the last inning that Detroit took advantage of. Now it's the last 2 walks by Tigers pitching how the Indians got on the scoreboard. Now they got to mix in one of their base hits, and they're going to have a tie game.
And Luis Valbuena, who's 1 for 3 tonight, will be the hitter. Valbuena has hit 8 home runs this year.
Well, I'd take one of those right about now.
He's not afraid to turn it loose. Up high, ball 1.
Yeah, but that's right. Now, Lyon is having problems.
The set. And the 1-0. That's in there for a strike. We'll even the count.
That run, by the way, is charged to Bobby C.
That's right. He's also responsible for Chu, the runner at third.
That is correct.
Right back to the screen off the bat of Valbuena. And now Lyon 1 strike away from getting out of the inning. But worst case scenario, at least the Indians have put a run up on the board. And they've cut the gap to 2 runs. But a base hit right here would really make things interesting. The 1-2. Swung on and missed. Indians leave them loaded. They do get on the board. It's a 3-1 Tigers lead as we go to the 9th. Base. Gerald Laird, Adam Everett, Ryan Raburn due up for Detroit against Tony Sipp, who got the last hitter in the 8th inning. Curtis Granderson. He goes after the first pitch, fouls it right back up into the over the press box there, and the upper tank. A little bit too low. Following our coverage of Indians baseball tonight, another installment of Outdoors Ohio comes your way here on Sports Time Ohio with Darcy Egan and company. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Round 2 in this 3-game series tomorrow night right here on STO, and it will be Justin Masterson against Rick Porcello. Another good matchup.
And then on Thursday, we're wrapping it up. It's Verlander, isn't it, against
Carlos Carrasco. One-two pitch in the dirt. There is Justin Masterson. Gets the nod tomorrow night for the Indians. Two and two the count. Oh, what was wrong with that? Full count. You can see Tony Sipp turning around as if to say, what
you're exactly right.
do I have
mean,
to do?
when you get pitches like that, there's been a few of them tonight, boy. It's been a hitter's zone. It has been a hitter's zone.
And the 3-2, that is low. Full ball 4. So the Tigers get their leadoff man aboard here in the 9th.
Well, Saturday, the Orioles will be in town, and all fans in attendance will receive a Grady Sizemore diving catch bobblehead. That'll be Saturday against the Baltimore Orioles.
Adam Everett steps in.
Yeah, I was going to say, here comes a bunt.
And it's ball 1 down low.
Leland's going to try and get that run back and get it back to a 3-run game. Everett on the year has 13 sacrifices, which leads the ball club.
Oh, hit him out of the box, and he is going to be out.
He should be out. Yes, he should.
Indeed. Home plate umpire Paul Schreiber made the call, and that is out number 1.
See, he wants to see if he was out of the box, but in that situation, if it's going to be close, your job is to sacrifice and just stop and let the ball go by. Because I think he would have got the job done if he doesn't, Matt. If he doesn't run out and hit it right there, and he is out of the batter's box, it's a good call. So dead ball, runner goes back. Just let the ball go. Stay in the batter's box and let him get to second base.
Tony Sipp will lob one over. The put out in that instance goes to the closest man of the play, which is Lou Marson. But you're right, Rick. If you're going to run into it, just stop.
Stop. Stay in the box and let your job go. Now, if he does come out and he happens to get that ball and he throws to second base, it's going to be a double play. But your job is to sacrifice in that situation, so why not try it? I know it's reaction. When you see that ball go down, you want to start running.
Yeah, it's almost like it's all one motion. Two balls, no strikes. Three and 0.
Well, there's been a lot of walks in the last 2 innings, haven't there? 2, 3.
Yeah.
6 in the last 2 innings. Make it 7.
Well, I'm not saying these guys are not missing with some of their pitches, but when the strike zone shrinks, and then when they don't get calls that are strikes, that are legitimate good strikes, it just makes it that much harder. It's one thing if you say, hey, you're going to have to throw it on the plate tonight, but then, well, that's because when you can't miss them. You can't miss them when they are.
Right.
Polanco pops it in the air. Trevor CROWE calling for it. 2 down. And that'll bring up Clete Thomas, his first at bat tonight. Came on as a pinch runner in the 8th inning and scored a run. Clete Thomas is batting .406 against the Indians this year.
Yeah, he's had a good year against them when he has played.
A homer and 10 runs batted in. Look at that. Missed inside, 1-1. Two Tigers aboard, 2 Tigers out. 9th inning, they lead 3-1. 2-1 to count. Detroit looking to go 10 games over 500 with a win tonight. In search of win number 80 on the year. 3-1. Minnesota, meanwhile, has gone back in front of Chicago. Twins lead the White Sox 7-5. They're in the 6th at U.S. Cellular Field. Full count. Runners off on the 3-2 pitch, and a ground ball to first. Big hop for Jimenez. Inning over. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th here at Progressive Field. Detroit leads it 3-1. Tigers lead last of the 9th here at Progressive Field. Detroit will turn it over to their closer, Fernando Rodney. Looking for save number 34. He's got an ERA of 3.82, and this is 66th appearance of the year and 66 innings of work 35 walks, 59 strikeouts. He'll face Lou Marson, Trevor Crowe, and Michael Brantley, the scheduled hitters.
And for Fernando Rodney, out of his 33 saves, 4 have come against the Indians. He'll be making his 10th appearance against the Tribe, covering 10 innings, giving up 9 hits and 3 earned runs. And his problem against the Tribe has been strikes. You know, he's thrown a lot of pitches. He hasn't been able to spot his fastball all the time. Here's a guy with a mid-90s fastball and a very good changeup with the same arm speed. If he was ever throw 2 of them for strikes in one game, you'd be in trouble. But his problem against the Tribe, although he has the 4 saves, and he's gotten the saves, although they got Fernando Rodney one time for a blown save.
They usually make him work for it,
Yes,
though.
they do. We'll see what happens now. You got some younger guys up there that I don't think have seen him a whole lot.
And that fastball is right down Broadway. Marson, couple of walks tonight. Also hit one hard back in the 5th inning, but hit it right back to the mound. This one, a slow topper to the hill. 1 down. Time now for our Northern Ohio Buick Pontiac GMC performance of the game. Ryan Raburn threw out a runner at the plate and hit a homer in the 3rd, and that was the only run of this game until the 8th inning.
He had a very good game, no doubt about it.
Trevor Crowe will bat with 1 out in the 9th. He is 2 for 3, couple of singles. Again, it was Crowe who had the hit back in the 2nd inning, in which Matt Laporta was thrown out at the plate by Ryan Raburn. One and one to count. Right back to the screen it goes. Fernando Rodney ready now, the 1-2 pitch. And he misses outside with it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Big bouncer to second. Room service hot for Polanco. 2 down. Michael Brantley 1 for 4. Will try to keep the Indians' hopes alive here in the 9th. And Rodney fires a first pitch strike right in there. Line drive single into center field. Brantley aboard with 2 down, and the Indians will bring the tying run to the plate now in the form of Asdrubal Cabrera, who is 1 for 4 tonight. Got that fastball up, and Brantley, with that short stroke, punches it right up the gut.
Ten hits now for the Indians. Well, it does get the tying run to the plate.
Big hopper to second, and Polanco throws him out. So the game is over, and the Tigers win it by a final tonight of 3-1. And that's big for Detroit because they go to 80-70 on the year.